So in relation to the asset ceiling, the amount that the entity would recognize in OCI for 2023 is how much? So let's see. Etong situation. As of December 31, 2022, okay, the situation. Yung plan assets, 10 million. Yung DBO, 8 million only. So the plan assets, 10 million. So yung DBO, 8. Okay? So anong situation dyan? Overfunded yung plan. So dahil overfunded, ang technical term, surplus. So may surplus na 2 million. Okay. So again, kapag deficit, walang problem. Walang limit. Walang minimum. Pero pag surplus, may ceiling. Kasi kung asset yan, so para ma-recognize as such, dapat may probable future economic benefits dyan. Okay, so ang question ngayon, what is the ceiling? So go back to the definition of terms, this one. Okay, the asset ceiling is the present value of any economic benefits available in the form of refunds from the plan or reductions in future contributions to the plan. Okay, so ano ibig sabihin yan? Kung let's say, di ba nga ito yung plan assets, ito yung DBO. Let's say bayad na lahat yung 8, may sobra pang 2. Kung lahat yung 2 million na yan, babalik sa entity yan in the form of refunds o kaya reduction in future contributions, then yung 2 million na yan, asset lahat yan. Kaya lang, nung kinompute, magkano lang daw yung present value ng available refunds and reduction in future contributions? 1.6 lang. So, ibig sabihin, kahit may surplus na 2, hindi pwedeng i-recognize yung 2 million lahat as asset. Kasi effectively, ang recoverable amount lang, 1.6. So, yung asset ceiling is basically, yun yung recoverable amount. So, dyan sa 2 million, ang ma-recover lang 1.6. So, hindi pwedeng i-report yung 2 million as asset. Kasi yung difference, not recoverable. So, yung recoverable amount lang in the form of refunds and reduction in future contributions, yun lang ang dapat i-report na asset. So, 2 million yung surplus. So, ang ceiling 1.6 lang. So, merong difference. Yan yung effect of the asset ceiling. So, parang ano yan? Parang impairment. So, CA 2 million, yung RA 1.6. So, impaired by how much? 400. Pero syempre, hindi impairment loss ang tawag. So, loss yan, expense yan in OCI. Minus yung na-recognize na in PNL. Okay. Kaya lang, that's 2022, no? So, kunin natin yung as of December 31, 23. So, yung planned assets this time, 12 million. So, yung obligation, 9 million lang. So, masipag magpondo, no? So, pwedeng masipag magpondo yung employer, yung entity, o kaya, aside from masipag magpondo, magaling yung fund manager. So, kumita yung pondo. Okay? Kaya may surplus na 3 million. Kaya lang, dyan sa 3 million na yan, ang marirecover lang ng entity, 2 million lang. So, yung asset, hanggang 2 million lang. Kasi yun lang ang recoverable amount. So, the difference, not recoverable. So, hindi siya dapat i-recognize as asset. So, excess, 1 million. So, effect of the ceiling. Now, yung 1 million, cumulative na yan. As of December 31, 23 na yan. So, to get the amount to be recognized in OCI, minus natin yung na-recognize na in prior year. So, effect of the ceiling at December 31, 23, 1 million. Minus yung na-recognize na in prior year. So, yung effect of the ceiling at December 31, 22. Okay? So, yung difference, that's the total change in the effect of the asset ceiling 2023. At saan i-recognize yung 600 na yan? Minus yung na-recognize na sa PNL, the rest, OCI. Okay, at magkano yung na-recognize sa PNL? So, in relation yan to interest. Kasi di ba doon sa interest composition, may kasama doon na asset ceiling effect? Okay? So ito yon. Yung 400,000 na yan, kinumpitan din yan ng interest. So times 10%. So yung 400,000 effect of ceiling as of December 31, 22 times the discount rate 10%, ni-recognize yan as interest expense in P&L. And since na-recognize yan sa P&L as interest expense, hindi na dapat isama yan sa OCI. Otherwise, double counted. Kaya minus yung included in interest, so the rest, OCI. So number 19, letter C. Okay. Now, just to clarify ha, just to emphasize pa ha, paano nasabi na yung 40,000 na yan ay nasa P&L? So actually, pag kinompute natin yung interest ha, for 2023, di ba net asset siya 3 million, pero dahil sa ceiling, magkano na lang yung naging asset? 2 million na lang. So ito ngayon ang naging basis ng interest. Kaya lagyan natin ng note, 2 million. Rather, ito pala, not 2 million. This one, yung 1.6 pala. As of December 31, 2022. Di ba dapat 2 million yung asset? Pero dahil sa asset ceiling, na-reduce to 1.6. So ito ngayon ang nakomputa ng interest sa 2023. So kaya 1.6 times 10%. So dahil net asset siya, okay, income. So income, yung 160,000 na yan. Pero pag binreakdown mo yan, ito yung kasama sa 160 na yan. Okay, interest on DBO, 8 million times 10%. Interest on DBO is expense. So interest expense. Interest on planned assets, 10 million times 10%. Income. So supposed to be nga, 2 million times 10%, dapat 200,000 yung income. Pero dahil nga sa ceiling, so nabawasan yung income. Okay? Naging 160 na lang. At yung effect ng ceiling na yan, kinumpitan din yan ng interest. So 400,000 times 10%. Expense. So expense, income, expense. Di ba normally bawal i-offset yan? So ito yung example ng required offsetting. So hindi na yan ipe-present separately. Yung net amount, which is 160, yun ang i-report as interest income. So net 160. Now, yung 40,000 na yan, okay, eto siya. So since yung 40 na yan ay nasa P&L na as interest, hindi na dapat siya kasama dito sa OCI. Kasi ito na yung total change. So ito yung total change, yung 40 sa P&L yan. So kaya ang OCI na lang, 560. Okay, so yan ang effect of the asset ceiling. Okay, now, the next 5 questions, comprehensive. Kukumpitin natin yung nasa P&L, OCI, okay, so, and also yung net amount, okay, yung defined benefit cost components. Plus, magko-compute din tayo ng ire-report sa balance sheet, and okay, yung balance ng planned assets and DBO. So yung typical transactions affecting okay, planned assets and DBO. So pag-usapan natin yan in the next video. Okay?